Hey everyone, Egman here with another video, and today we're going to talk about the yellow Boujack leader. I played this leader on my stream this last Tuesday, and I had a lot of fun with him, and I truthfully think he's in the best spot he's ever been in, which is saying something because he's been around for over 2 years. So I have a cool match that I had with him. It took over an hour to play, and I want to be able to give that to you guys if you're interested. So if you guys want to see it, make sure to hit a like, and if we hit 50 likes on this video, I'll make sure to have a sped up, commentated, and edited version of that match so you guys can see it without having to spend the entire hour like I did to play it. But let's talk about this guy, and I guess the first thing we want to talk about is there's some new support from him that's coming out in the new expansion set that drops at the end of this month. So it's not this Bardock, but it's instead this Bojack Pinpoint Onslaught. It's a 4-drop blue-yellow Bojack with a combo cost of 1 for 5. But it has this permanent. The permanent is pretty much the only reason you want, like the reason you run this card, because it has, if you have a Bojack Brigade card in your energy, reduce the combo cost of this card by 1 and negates its energy exhaust skill in all areas. So that's like the best thing about him, being able to just have a blue-yellow combo that you get for already just running the deck, which is really nice. It's also great for Aegis discards. It also has when this card is played, if you activate the evolve skill on a Bojack card in your hand, this turn reduces the skill cost of that evolve skill by 1, which is okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. Mostly better for the blue one, just because the blue one can evolve into this guy, and unlike the old yellow one. It also has an active battle for either a blue or a yellow. If there are 2 or more blue and or yellow cards in your combo area, play this card from your hand, choose all other blue and yellow Bojack Brigade cards in your battle area, you get plus 5k power for the turn. So it's essentially an arrival, but you have to use 2 cards, so you can't just cheat it out with a Zamasu super combo or something like that. But it's still okay, especially since he can evolve into the 5-drop, or the new blue one for 5 or 4 if you play him the same turn. So that's the new card there. Mostly we once again play him for the permanent. That just makes sense and helps out the deck a lot. But he does have some other fringe uses essentially. So that's like the newest support, but. Let's talk about this leader in general. He's really bad. He's a bad leader for a lot of reasons. He doesn't draw inherently. He does have an auto once per turn. When a Bojack Brigade card is played in your battle area, draw 1. This gains plus 5k power for the duration of the turn. So that's cute, right? So you have to. It's kind of like a pan leader in a lot of ways, which is why I think people are like, oh, maybe it has some potential. It's also on either player's turn, so you can play if you play something on your opponent's turn, which Bojack Brigade is very, very good at playing cards at your opponent's turn too. Then you're able to draw cards, which is nice. It has this weird auto on both the front and back that when you combo with one of your cards during your turn, if your combo area has 2 or more Bojack Brigade cards in your combo from your battle area, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it, and if you KO a card, negate the skill for the turn. So you have to spend 2 of your cards, and you're able to pop one of your opponent's cards in rest mode, and it has to be during your turn, and so it could do something every once in a while, but it's not a guaranteed. And then its awaken is if your life is at 4 or less, you flip this card over, which is the end of the sentence. You don't get any untaps, you don't get any draws. That is how this was printed 2 years ago, and you can see that it caught on because they never printed another awaken like this. So that's bad, right? I think the idea was that, the decks was so much about playing cards for free, and it had a lot of like Bojack specific cards that and value was from playing the cards for free and the Bojack cards, which is true, but it's still not good enough to not have anything on Awakening. Even just like an untap 1 would have made this leader way better, but it got an untap none, and it really, really hurt. We do have this new Bojack Galactic Disruptor that got released last year that active main if your leader card is a yellow Bojack card on its front side, and if you have 2 or more energy and you discard this card from your hand, flip your leader card to its backside, then draw 2. This is very good. This is apparently this just makes this deck need to run for this card, in my opinion. You can also play him for free if you have 2 or more Bojack Brigades out, which is nice just to get a free body out to evolve into if you need to. He fixes the leader aspect in my mind as long as you see him, which I haven't had any issues with, but if you don't see him, then you're kind of in a bad spot. So maybe you kind of want to make this deck as thin as possible just so you can maximize seeing this card as much as you can. Also, the Awakened side of this also has a permanent. You can combo with Bojack Brigade cards in rest mode in your battle area, which is kind of cute, kind of helpful. And also, auto once per turn when a Bojack Brigade card is played, you draw 1, but you don't get the plus 5k boost. So you can, like, double up. If the turn that you awaken, you play a Bojack, and then you awaken, and then you play another one, you can draw 2 cards, and you have a 20k, but you don't get that plus 5k afterwards, which kind of stinks. I think this leader would be a lot better if it could get that 5k on the backside too, and I don't think it'd be broken, but whatever, here we are. So I think this Bojack definitely is needed, and then the new one as well. We also got the Violent Rush Bojack, which is the best Aegis card they've ever printed, which, like, Bojack was bad for a long time, Aegis was bad for a long time. It wasn't until the new Mecha Frieza leader, essentially, that Aegis was viable in any regard. So I think, once again, this Bojack helped it a lot, and he's a really great card for this. It's, Barrier unique, Aegis blue-yellow once per turn, and also rival blue-yellow for 1 yellow. And auto, when this card activates its Aegis blue-yellow skill, draw 1 card. So he's really good at doing what he does. You want to play him as soon as possible, even if you just, like, don't play anything turn 1, and then just, like, like, on your opponent's next turn, you play this card defensively, like a rival whom defensively, then you get your Boujack Leader to draw a card and get plus 5k for the turn. I think that's a really good thing to do, and it's not a bad play to play this on your turn either. He just gains so much value throughout the entire game that you just want him out as soon as you can. So he's a really good card for that, and you can find him. Beto's really good for this deck. Turn 1 play, just when this card's played, if you have leader cards Bojack Brigade, look at top 5 cards to choose up to 1 Bojack Brigade with no energy, no color restrictions, anything like that. You just find one, and if you do, you get it. So that's kind of nice. It really helps find cards like this guy. Also the your Awakener as well. I think that can be really helpful. Or if you need, like, something like the blue-yellow card, he just finds what you need. He's really good at just being able to do that, and he's very valuable in my mind. We also get the new promo that's coming out, or that is coming out, has come out. I don't know where we're at with it, but it's good. It's permanent. When this card is in rest mode, your opponent's battles cards with energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy can't attack leaders cards, which is nice in itself, especially since so many decks are about cheating out big dudes. This can really stop them in a lot of ways. And you can play this card for 1. So for auto 1, if your leader card is a Bojack Brigade card or has Agent Destruction in its name, at the end of a battle in which this card is used in a combo from your hand or energy, you may play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So I've been finding myself, as I've been learning this deck, that it's okay to not do anything turn 1, and you can just do this defensively. So you can just play something and pass, and then you can, they swing into you, you combo with this Bojack, you play it out for free, you get to draw a card from your leader, you get to play this card in rest mode, and then they can't, if they start cheating stuff out or anything else like that, you're able to just get this Bojack. Like, they have to start swinging at this Bojack if they want to swing at anything. So and then when it dies, you get to draw a card as well. So just, like, free cycle, free defense, and it just helps out the deck, I think, a lot. And it's blue, so if you need to get some, like, blue-yellow cards for Aegis or a rival, it can really help you out there too. And then I think that's, like, the main amount of cards that really help. I think this card helps out a lot. It sucks that it's kind of an expensive promo. I know, like, the blue Bojack Leader also likes this guy a lot too, but I think he's a little bit needed for this archetype as well. Last couple cards specifically want to talk about are Power of Super Saiyan. This card's amazing. Just being able to rest something for free is what this deck needs, especially since you don't have to, like, you just have to have the yellow energy open and you get free cycle. It's just amazing. This card's really, really good. If you want to run 4, go for it. I don't think it's a bad idea, but it's something like a deck like this needed Power of the Super Saiyan just to be viable in my mind. And we also have Bojack on a Rampage. So this is the new EX Evolved Bojack. I have the Plunderer over here on the side. I don't think he's awful, but I just didn't think he was doing what I wanted to do, and I felt like the On a Rampage is just better, but I don't think this card's bad. I think the reason I don't like this guy as much is that he doesn't have any protection, and it's a little bit tricky to play this card on turn 4 with 5 or more life. It can happen, but it doesn't normally happen. But if you play it right, you can make your opponent just have no cards left in hand, which can be really nice. So I think in general, if you take anything from this video, I think this deck is very wide open. It's kind of like Mecha Frieza in a way, in a lot of ways, honestly, that you can choose your own ratios. And I think like some cards you have to run for. I think you got to run for this Bojack in this one and the new expansion set, but the ratios are really what you want them to be. You can really tune this deck however you like, and I hope this is more of a blueprint than just this is the best version of this deck, because this definitely is not. I think there's still ways to improve it and things to test and everything. So if you like the Plunderer, go for it. If you like this card more than the blue one, go for it. And it's definitely a little bit cheesier, but it can definitely hit harder and a turn earlier as well. And that's sometimes all you really need to do. Like, you can just make your opponent like discard 5 or 6 cards, and then they just can't do anything, right? Like, especially if you're able to make them discard their entire hand before they charge the energy, you can like be in a really, really good spot. So that's just something to consider as well. I would consider this to put this card in the side deck if we were in a best of 3 format anyways, but I do like this guy a little bit more. And the reason that is because he has, for one, he can EX evolve for 5 or 4 if you play with a new guy on the same turn, and you get to draw 2. It's on an energy cost of 3 or 4, which is a little bit more viable with the new 4-drop as well. It has an auto once per turn if this card is in rest mode. When your opponent attacks with a battle card, switch it to one of your blue energy to active mode, then switch up to one of your opponent's energy to rest mode. So that can be really nice, being able to just untap during your opponent's turn and rest one of their energy as well. But also has an auto for 4, 1 blue and 3 colorless at the end of battle, in which this card is used in a combo from your hand or energy. Draw 1 card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck, then play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So you can get this out pretty easily on turn 4. I will say it does cost 1 to combo with it, so the way you do it is that you just have Violent Rush Bojack out. You're on defense, your opponent swings, and you have at least 3 energy open, if not 4. You combo with this, and then after that you Aegis, and then at the end of battle you bring this out for 4. You just tap out, play this for 4. You're able to warp something of your opponents, and then you're also able to, if they swing with a battle card, you're able to untap another blue energy, or yellow blue energy, doesn't say mono blue. So that has some potential there too, in my mind, if you need to like pop something that they have. And then get this guy out, I think it's very good. Mostly I'd say we use him as an EX Evolve, especially because you get to draw 2 when you do it, which is really helpful for this deck, because you don't get to draw a card from your leader every turn sometimes, and that's really it. For the rest of the deck, we decided to use the Universe 9 engine just because there's a lot of card draw from it and a lot of just resting stuff. We already have this blue-yellow Sorial and Hop as well. Basil is very, very good for this deck just because it needs something to really pressure your opponent, and so just having this card out, paying it for 1, not having to invest a lot of time or energy into the deck, I think is very helpful. Running 3 Bergamos because we're doing a lot of resting, and sometimes we're flexible with energy, especially since we have our Aegis, so if we want to be able to shut our opponents down, we can just use Bergamo and go from there. Using 2 of our energy is fine if we're getting our untap every turn. From there, Zamasu I think is pretty obvious. If you want to run like 2 Zamasu and 2 like the Krillin super combo, the yellow one, you can do that as well. I found like I just need more resting than anything else most of the time, and I felt like I got enough card draw more or less from this deck anyways. There's a Bojack Pirate's Pride. So negate the attack. It's a Bojack 3, which you can EX evolve into. It becomes a 1-drop if your energy has a blue and yellow, and also when you play this card, your opponent plays the top card of their deck into the drop area, which could be helpful as well if you like accidentally try to mill your opponent out, which can happen. Secret Identity Mass Sand is a good card. I didn't have this in my original build, but I just felt like I needed some kind of board clear, and this helped out a bunch. Secret, I think Supreme Kai of Time is just the easiest choice for this deck. We're kind of a control deck, and just being able to, we don't have like a lot of board wipe potential, so just being able to have this card and wipe our opponent's board, I think is 1,000% worth it in my mind. I think that's everything else. Flying Nimbus can save your butt too. If you want to run 4, go for it. And yeah, I think that's about it for here. Rival of the Space Pirates, if you don't like this card, take it out. I think just having the 4 Betos itself is fine enough. Especially since I kind of found that like the reason I had this card in is just because I felt like I didn't have enough of turn 1 plays to do. But when I found out that, you know what, playing this Bojack, Rampaging, Agent Destruction, or Violent Rush, either of these cards are just worth it. Being able to play these turn 1, it's just a good move. So I do that more often, and I don't find like I really need this card. So there is some potential for that though, especially if you want to put like the 1-drop yellows. Or there's also the blue ones as well. We got some new blue ones you can play off Arrival of the Space Pirates that mostly like draw cards or like look at the top 3 cards for cut stuff. So there we go on that. But here's my current list. I hope this inspires you to make your own list with this leader. I really do think that he is in a really good spot right now. The yellow has a lot of cool options. Aegis is finally good, and Aegis is good with a Bojack card, so there's already the theming there. And it just makes sense to try this out if you have any fun, especially like if you like Mecha Frieza. I definitely recommend trying this build and seeing if you like it more, or if you can find some cool stuff you can do with these cards. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this list. Make sure to hit the like button if you want to see the edited gameplay video of this list, and I'll catch you all next time.